All right, it's Friday, November 21st. This is the Automotive State of the Union. Kyle and I are live from LA Automobility, and we're going to bring one of our favorite people that's on the West Coast this morning.
Yes.
Are we rolling music today?
We're rolling music.
Roll the music. Let's roll the music.
Ah, bump it. Good, good.
Always roll the music. We want to give a very special thanks to our friends at Curbee who have helped us make all of this coverage possible. They've been so hospitable. We have a helicopter flying over.
Wow, we got a flyover for the morning show.
I wish we could get a camera on this.
Good night.
There's somebody taking a picture out of that too.
That's unbelievable. You got a cameraman up there.
Okay.
Nathan just pivoted the B cam like a boss.
And of course it's going to do a circle.
It's going to do a circle right around.
I've never been more concerned that a helicopter was going to hit the glass buildings like in all those action movies we saw.
Oh my goodness, right there.
I literally thought that was about to happen.
Coming back over, there we go.
Well,
we got sirens going off, but we're here at the morning show. The LA Auto Show is bumping. The beautiful thing about it is we don't have rain. We thought we were going to have rain. And
whoa! Should we start over?
It sounds great.
It sounds good.
That's amazing.
I'm like, do we need to start over a live stream?
This is how we roll.
I mean, Amit can tell us if this is just what happens in LA every day.
Yeah.
Because kind of in my mind, it is how it happens every day in LA.
It could be how it happens. So let's go ahead and bring him on. Amit, we've got our good buddy from Curbee here. The man's been all over the automotive industry. You're obviously excited you're out to be out here because so much of what you do is relative not just to dealers but to OEMs. What does it mean to kind of be out here in your home city, working with dealers, working with the OEMs?
Yeah, we're super proud of calling Los Angeles home. You know, the world's largest car market means something to us.
I think so.
I think the innovation that comes out of here and the way we're able to serve the rest of the country is really important to us. Also, you get to have flyovers with helicopters just about to come on, so very Los Angeles, right?
Did you? I think you.
That's
arranged,
my arrival.
Did you arrange that?
I wish.
I thought I saw a Curbee logo underneath on the belly of that thing as it was flying over.
I'm definitely not that important by any means.
I don't know. Depends on who. So let's talk about a few things. Number one, you've been talking about this concept that I'd love you to flesh out a little bit. You've been talking about the 16, and that's kind of a founding principle on how you're approaching business. So what is the 16, and why are you thinking about it so much?
Yeah, we released this data-driven study called The 16 a couple days ago, actually on the 16th. Took a bold move and released something on Sunday, but good thing the internet works on Sundays, right?
It does.
Yeah. The thesis on the 16 is that now that there's 300,000 independent repair facilities in the United States, compare that to the 18,300 new car dealerships. The ratio is 16. And we sort of took an extrapolation of that to say that the average American leaves their home to go to their average franchise dealership. They pass 16 choices along the way. And the elevation of the conversation to a dealer, and even an OEM at this point, is, are you 16 times more convenient? Ooh. Are you 16 times easier to do business with? Are you 16 times cheaper? Are you 16 times more flexible? And the reason we're doing this is not to challenge, but just to up-level the conversation to say, we know what the weather is like, what kind of tools are we going to bring to combat it?
Yeah, so you said all that stuff, and what I hear is 16 times the value. Because everybody's got a different value perception on the experience and the cost.
Yeah.
And so I think that 16 metric is I love simple metrics, right? When you say it's like a principle, you can stick in someone's head, and now you can easily communicate that to everybody else. I love this.
Yeah, we've gotten really good feedback. I've actually heard someone talk about this 16 and sort of, we tested this. We were at a meeting last week with 14 dealerships all in the same room, and we were sort of bringing that to their attention. And I'm a little shy, right? When you're in front of a dealer telling, hey, when somebody leaves their home, a right or a left turn 16 times, and there's other choices, right, with a guy out there with a sign who has no weight, right? And they all basically nodded their head and said, yeah, that's exactly what we need to do. We need to be aware of that because the service and parts market business is growing and the dealers are actually shrinking their share. 30,000 dealers to 18,300, 30,000 more independents just in the last 3 years. We're all looking at the same data.
Well, and those independents are finding real estate as the opportunity to be in a space, and for dealers and for even the OEMs to think about real estate acquisition, building costs, the overhead associated with trying to replicate that type of meeting that type of demand is a massive cost on business. And so what you guys are doing is trying to find a way to give the value to the consumer without the cost on the dealer and the OEM.
Yeah, I think OEMs often have these things called CCOs, customer convenience outlets. They're ways to be able to go into a market where there's not a point or a dealer and maybe offer a service level. That happens very rarely. So one of the anecdotes, and of course, sort of biased, but one of the anecdotes is mobile service, right? Because it is so operationally efficient. It's not a $150,000 service bay with 6 or 7 people touching this. It's a technician in a vehicle like this behind us going to a customer's home and knocking out the equivalent of a service bay, 5, 7, 10 repair orders, and then you can backfill your shop like we talked about a year ago.
Yeah.
So we do believe that mobile service is one of the anecdotes, and we're seeing that with some of the results so far.
You know, one of the principles that I remember from the conversation we had with Andy Gilcher at Mohawk, because the complexity of like, well, how do you fit everything into one of these? And how do you know that somebody doesn't get stuck? And it's not saying that no one ever gets stuck, but he talked about the principle of load leveling, where you have all of your simple scheduled stuff in this, and now you open up your fixed ops and your bays for the more complex tasks that need to be in there. And that always stuck with me when Andy said that, being one of the savviest operators in the country.
Yeah, not only is he great, in addition to something like this, there's also, the 75 million open recalls, and 20 million of those are just software updates and inspections. So we have dealers taking a RAV4, upfitting it for $15,000 with Starlink and a laptop, and they're going out and knocking out 10 of those a day.
Gee, okay, that's easy, right?
Well, I think the solution that you have, you say, well, why don't I just put a guy in a car and go do the thing? Well, how are you going to make sure it's tied in? How are you going to stay in touch with them? How are you going to know when the work's been completed? How's the customer going to get their receipt or invoice generated? So I think even in those simple solutions, until you start to do it, you realize like, oh, there's like 5 other problems we have to solve to make that a reality.
I think we've come up with a really simple thesis. We say this all the time. A dealer, anybody can do mobile service with a bunch of sticky notes, a spreadsheet, Google Maps, and whiteboards that look like the stuff that's in my office. Or you can just throw it into a platform, have AI do some optimization, have the customer communications tight, and most importantly, maximize that density and minimize drive time so dealers can actually become more operationally efficient with it.
So what's the next 12 months look like for you? I mean, obviously the NADA show is 3 months away. So that, a lot of people have that as a little target. So give us, what's it look like? You have any plans for NADA show that you want to tell us about now?
Yeah, we're excited. We're going to be at NADA. We're also going to have a nice little surprise coming out just before NADA. I've learned from the masters of media not to leak too much information before you get there.
But just enough?
Yeah, just enough. Just a little teaser. I think that's what you call it in the industry, right?
It's
a teaser. That's perfect.
Yes.
There you go. Perfect. So we're excited about that. And also, I think we're just going to keep, I say this, double and triple down on the product efficacy, right? When you go from, let's be fair, 5, 10, 15 dealers to a couple hundred dealers pretty quickly, there's a completely different stressor and use case on your product, and we're learning a lot from that. So that Kaizen mentality, it's in our DNA. We're taking that, we're adding that back to our product, and that's where our primary focus is, so that we're serving the dealers and even these OEMs as best as we can.
All right, I'm going to go off script just a little bit. We're not talking about mobile service anymore. You were telling me just before, obviously, California, especially in auto, loves to get a little bit hated on. LA, a little bit hated on. But you were like, no, we want to bring back like the vibe of California. If people are coming out to LA, if they're coming out here, what are they doing? What should they see? Why should they come?
Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. This happens a lot. When I sit on planes, every once in a while when they say you're going to LA, and I get it, every once in a while they say, oh, California, maybe they just give this shoulder shrug and whatnot. And look, I'm proud to be Californian. I'm proud that Curbee's here, but I'm also proud of all the folks that we serve all over this country, right? But I always tell folks, I said, come out, visit. Go to San Francisco. Stay away from a couple streets. I can tell you which ones.
That's the important part.
Go to San Francisco. Drive down the coast. Pop by Disneyland, Universal Studios, and then everyone should go down to San Diego because it's 72 degrees, 300 days a year. And when I said this to the lady on the plane a couple days ago, I said, when's the last time you've done that? And she goes, I've never been there. I said, that's it. You guys are the evidence of it. Come out here. See this weather that we have, although it's going to rain in about 20 minutes. Come check it out, enjoy it.
Too.
Yes. But I think you guys are a testament to coming out here and doing your activations out here. It's a pretty cool place. There's some innovative people, and there's a lot of people just working really hard.
That's awesome. Well, Amit, thank you for hanging out with us. Thanks for making all of this possible, and thanks for pushing back on some of the things that I think our industry, especially on the franchise side, really needs to be thinking about over the next few years.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
I do have something.
What is this?
All right, so Can I grab this from you guys?
I see bags.
All right, so to commemorate your West Coast trip, right? Although we couldn't get the 6.4 here based on Paul's request, we did get you guys something. So I'm going to put this down for 2 seconds out of camera, and I'm going to bring these out for you guys.
It's a 6.4, by the way.
It's almost a 6.4, okay?
All right.
Oh
So-
my God!
I'm going to bring these out for you guys.
I don't.
So I know, just stick with me
listen,
on this.
we're
All right,
hanging, we're
listen.
hanging.
I'm with it.
Flat brim, black hats to commemorate the 2-time world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. These are the official World Series hats from the Dodgers.
Okay, I'll take it.
These are slick. These are super
There's
cool.
a spot on my shelf for this.
They
For
are
sure.
so
It's
at least
black on black, the puff, like that's the vibe.
we wanted
you
to
know?
commemorate your inaugural trip out to the West Coast, and thank you guys for coming out here and doing this in LA.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely going.
Thanks so
Definitely
much.
going.
Good.